And we're back with a quick reminder of margins versus markups. Based on our previous spreadsheet, we had a little bit of a costing going, and now I just think we should, for the sake of revision, just go through the concept of markup and margin, the one versus the other. So if I have a look here at markup and margin. Markup is price less cost over cost times 100. Margin is price less cost over price times 100. Big difference, and both of those are very, very important as far as analysis tools go. So if we take a cost of an item, call that $100, and we add $15 on the top, that's a 15% markup. Our price is 115. Price 115 less cost is 100 over cost times 100. Markup 15%. Margin is price, that's 115 minus cost is 100 over price of 115 times 100. And just so we can see that nicely, we're going to go 115, 100 minus is 15, 115 divide, and 100 times 13.04%. So there we have the illustration between cost plus and then margin markup as a percentage of selling price. Simple as that. So what we're wanting to now do is look at sorting messes, sorting exported files, and I just want to show you a little bit of functionality relating to that. So if we look at a sample of inventory, this is a exported file from Sage, and it's a .csv. Now a .csv is very close to a .xls. Those file extensions tell Excel that they can be opened. The file extension is the end of the name of the document or spreadsheet that you're opening. So this is pretty much a raw export from an accounting package, and here we have headings, code, on hand, cost, value, and there's a pretty big selection of items here. Now there are a few things to note. Firstly, I've got a variety of part numbers, and part numbers are picked up and represented differently according to the formatting of the column. So as an example, this particular notation here, these are picked up as values, whereas here you can see there's a few other interesting things happening. These part numbers have got A's and C's, D's and E's, so Excel registers them differently. Excel doesn't pick them up as a numerical value. Excel probably looks at this column and is a little confused as to what it's looking at. Here you can see this is straightforward. This is just a numerical value. It's the quantity of this item which gives this result. One item times 20873 gives 20873, and that row has got four values. Now something that is very interesting and very useful is you, at a glance over here, down here, if you highlight a selection, it's going to give you a summary, a very, very useful summary. So at the moment I've got, let me highlight 4 fields, and here I've got a count of 4, as you'll see. It gives you an average of the 4, and then it also gives you the sum total. 52575, 5276, What you'll notice though is the 5276 in this case doesn't include these two figures. And here's the simple reason. The notation is, with my version of Excel, my notation does not use a dot, it uses a comma as a decimal separator. So these are actually not picked up. None of these are picked up as numbers. So you'll see as I highlight them, nothing happens here. So what was happening was, in highlighting this row, it was only adding that and the 1, which is why it was getting the 5276. So I'm just sort of clarifying and correcting my previous assertion where these two are not included. If I changed that to a comma, which I can do, and now I include it, you can see it's included the value of that field, and I can undo it. So you can highlight selections and you can at a glance get a little summary here. Now I'm going to neaten this up quickly so I can actually work with it. So I'm going to highlight this column and I'm just going to put it all neatly down the one side. Here I need summaries of value. So I'm going to do a very nifty trick. I'm going to highlight both these columns and I'm going to go Control H. Control H is a very handy shortcut. It allows me to replace the dot with the comma. So it goes find what, and I'm saying find all the dots and replace them with commas. And I go replace all, and it's done 1,015 replacements, and all of a sudden I've got numerical values that Excel picks up. So I can, as I was saying, I can highlight a selection here. There is my summary. Now, if I want to format these consistently, I can highlight them. I can right click. I can go to Format Cells. I want numbers. I want a separator for the thousands, and I'm going to go with 2 decimal points. And there we go. Look at that. We've now got a consistent look, which I really like. I'm going to put this in the center. Right, now with a nice download of information as we've got, let's start working with it. Let's start having a look at sorting. If we highlight this, and we're going to go sort and filter, and I'm going to go for a custom sort. It immediately recognizes that we have headers, and I want to now do a sort by part number. I want to see where my odd part numbers are. I'm going to have groups according to product, but I now want to have a quick look and just see what odd numbers are out there. So I'm going to go sort by code, and let's go for it. Okay, so all of a sudden I've got these numbers, I've got those numbers, I've got different ranges of number, which I'm able to now make sense of. I'm able to at a glance start seeing this part number sequence. What is my value? What is my total value? This is very useful, getting your data into a nice usable format. And with that, you start being able to sort. You can create copies. So I would say this is now my original download. And now what I can do is I right click, I can go move or copy, create copy, move to the end, and I've got a duplicate of that. So with that, I'm going to call it this is my worksheet. I want to keep the original, but I also want to start using the worksheet, and I want to start manipulating it. And now what I can do is I can start blocking off things, blocking off value, interpreting what I've got. If I had a column here with the part number description, I would then be able to sort by description as well, and then I can start making sense of the various things that I've got duplicates of. So this is very, very handy, and now one's getting into some really meaningful value with Excel. This is all derived from what is very commonly available in a lot of accounting packages. If you've got a master file, if you've got an inventory system, you can do a download in various formats of your inventory, and you can manipulate it, and you can very often then re-export it into the accounting system, and you can make mass updates in Excel. It really is a remarkable tool. So with that, we've done a little bit of manipulation. We've looked at moving data around. We've looked at the summary facility here. And it really is a invaluable tool to have at your disposal.